What's going on, hikers? In today's video we are talking about 7 dumb hiking or backpacking mistakes that either I have made or I've seen somebody make. Maybe somebody told me about it, maybe I found it in the comments thanks to you. And the first mistake is whenever you're crossing a body of water, anything that you could potentially drown in, the mistake would be leaving your backpack strapped on you like this. So what you want to do is unbuckle your sternum strap, maybe loosen up those shoulder straps a bit, and unbuckle your hip belt. That way, if you fall and you need to self-rescue, you can quickly ditch your backpack and it's not taking you downstream with it. Our second mistake is bringing heavy food, either canned or something like this jar of peanut butter whenever you're headed out on trail. I'll link a video above to show you a good idea of what I take on trail with me, but I have done the peanut butter. In fact, the very first trip I went on was 4 days through the Smoky Mountains and my pack was super heavy. Should not have brought 2 jars of peanut butter. Our third mistake is leaving your sleeping pad patch at home. What I love is the Nemo Tensor. This is the Alpine version, which is like their winter version, but in the stuff sack, it has a little pocket sewn in, and that is the perfect place to keep your sleeping pad patch. In fact, backpacking with Buckley, I was on a trip with him and some other guys, and his pad had a hole in it, so if he couldn't patch it up, kind of would have been screwed. The fourth mistake, this I've kind of changed my tune on. As you can see, I got some Frog Togs here. The fourth mistake is buying budget versions of gear over and over, whenever that value is just going to add up to the price of a very nice, good piece of gear that's going to last you a long time. Now, this is a little bit controversial because you got to use your own judgment, but instead of wearing the Frog Togs now, I have the Tushar rain jacket by Outdoor Vitals, and this thing is fairly expensive, but it is also a much better fit. It's going to last me a lot longer. The seams are sealed well in it, just all around better product, and the price tag reflects that, but sometimes you got to buy once, cry once. Now, I have another piece of gear I want to show you that I would put in that same category, and it is actually by today's video sponsor, Ridge Wallets. And Ridge is the last wallet you're ever going to need to buy. With Father's Day coming up, you should get him one of these minimalist wallets. Tell him to throw out the old bulky ones. Holds up to 12 cards, has a nice little cash holder on the side, and to go perfectly with that, just to keep that minimalist lifestyle, you can throw in a key case. Keeps you nice, neat, and organized. And if you really want to make his day, get him one of these bad boys. It is a dive watch, good down to 200 meters, perfect for the trail, and totally waterproof. So if you want to check out Ridge, make sure you use my link below to save yourself some money, ridge.com/Jeremiah, and show them some love. Our fifth mistake is easy to make, especially if you're lazy like me. You come home from your trip and you just leave your backpack sitting, and if you have your down compressed, like this is a little sleeping bag, if you leave it there and it's damp or moist, then this thing will start to mold. My advice would be, whenever you get home in the first day or so, just take the sleeping bag or whatever down product you have out and let it air out, let it loft back up, let the moisture evaporate. If you want to know more about down products or just general info about it, how to take care of it, that kind of thing, I did an interview a while back with Chad at UGQ, and we talked extensively about down, so you can check that video out here. Our sixth mistake is overestimating how much mileage that you can do before you start your trip, or even while you're out on it. You have to listen to your body. I'll give you 2 quick examples. We were on the Foothills Trail, and I didn't come up with the mileage, but we were doing like 15 to 18 miles a day. It was just way too much for me, and it was also way too much for my wife. She actually had to leave the trail on the last day of the trip. My second quick example is whenever I was on my first trip, my father-in-law, he became quite dehydrated and was cramping up while we were headed out in the first section of the trip. We got a late start. We started like 11 a.m. We were doing 10 miles in the Smokies from Fontana Dam up to the first shelter, and it was just way too much. Our backpacks were too heavy. Shouldn't have scheduled that much mileage. Our seventh mistake is putting way too much weight, especially in frameless backpacks. A lot of people have the goal of going ultra light, which is usually under like 8 pounds. But personally, I found that hard to do because I'm such a big guy. I'm like 6'3", 220 pounds. And it seems like everything I buy has to be the large or wide or long version of the products. And what I have here is the Shadowlight backpack. It's a 45 liter by Outdoor Vitals. and it is a framed backpack, which helps support the weight better, but I could also go frameless because the frame is removable. So you really want your gear choices to reflect your needs on trail. I want you to comment below and tell me what are some dumb mistakes that you have made or you've seen other people make on trail. If you've enjoyed the video, make sure you give me one of these, subscribe to the channel, and kick that notification bell for the latest notifications. We'll see you in the next one.